Hey, how we doing? I've been slacking on the videos and I apologize about that, but things are starting to pick up here on the tool lot buying, and this is one of my first of the year, and I'll go through piece by piece and show you what I got here. Some cool stuff. In the back, it's a Dremel Moto jigsaw, although it looks more like a scroll saw, and it does work. So I'm going to try to get this going and use it. I have a number of different blades, not necessarily Dremel blades, but hopefully I can finagle it. It just kind of clamps in there, so hopefully I can work it out. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down. I got this this metal box over here. Sorry about the sun glare there. This metal box is Powercraft, and it was a socket set at one point. I have a number of the sockets that I'll show you in a second, but this was in there. It's a 1/2-inch drive sliding breaker bar. Craftsman 1/2-inch drive. It's like the teardrop style, but a little bit different, you can see. I'm a big fan of the USA Craftsman pieces, and I probably have about 10 of this style in 1/2-inch drive anyway. 1/2-inch drive breaker bar, Craftsman. Looks probably about a 14-inch. Okay. Double boxed end wrench, Craftsman USA, and this one is 1 1/16 and 1 1/4. And it's an amazing condition. I mean, this looks like a knife, but it's actually a saw. And I'm going to see if I can pull up the maker mark so you can see it there. Yep, you can just make it out there. CW Dunlap, New York. And I can't make out the rest while I'm looking through my phone here. But very cool piece. Got a nice wooden handle. It's got some brass kind of like rivets. I imagine they thread on there. But these things were like a couple bucks each. The guy that I bought this stuff from was super cool. 5 minutes away from my house. The seller had an ad on Craigslist where he was trying to get rid of some pipe wrenches, real cheap. They were like $3 a piece. So I contacted him because I noticed that he was local. And I messaged him on the way over and said, hey, any other tools you have? I'd love to check them out. And he said, okay. So I show up to the house, and he had all this stuff in the garage, and then he was like, oh, there's a bunch of stuff in the basement you can look at. And that was like music to my ears. So I went down in the basement, and it was just like crates of all different tools. His prices were super fair. The guy was cool. So, yeah. So I'm going to go back, and I definitely got what I wanted today, but I'd like to do multiple visits. Anyway, this is a Velchek double box end wrench, and it's 1 7/16 and 1 1/2, so good sized. A little bit dull. I'm going to clean that up and get it all nice and shiny. Okay, moving right along. This is Mac Tools, and it's DA34. 1 1/16 on both ends. It's got the angled end and the standard end there. Another Mac Tools wrench. And you know, I'm not a big reseller. I sell some stuff here and there. I'm more of a hoarder. But I tend to reference things that I buy online just to get a rough idea of its value. And this wrench itself was, I believe, $80 online. CW36. It was $80 used, if I'm not mistaken. So I grabbed that. One thing I don't have out here that I picked up is I'm not a big Snap-on guy, but I treated myself and I bought a Snap-on ratchet, 1/2-inch drive. It's a chrome 1/2-inch drive ratchet with a soft comfort grip, and it's the long one. It's super long. It's brand new. I got a good price on it. It's a USA ratchet. I know some of Snap-on pieces nowadays are foreign made, but that one in particular is a USA model. And I got a good deal on it, but I still paid a lot, in my opinion. But I might flip it to make a profit. I might not. I'm not sure. I like the ratchet. It's cool. But anyways, back to business here. This is a adjustable wrench, and I like these a lot. This one has some like pecking marks, but in any event, B&C H&T, Springfield, Mass, USA. And it's pretty cool. It's got the wooden handle. That's actually a nut on the end there. That'll thread right off there. And I'll do my best to clean this up. I like the hardware. It's got a nice little dial there. And it's pretty smooth. I opened it up and whatnot. But I got a Greenfield 18-incher. You know, these were $3 a piece, so at that price, it's pretty cheap. Okay, and we got. I'm not sure yet if this is brass or beryllium copper, but it's it's been used, but it was, you know, a couple bucks. Could use another handle, but I like the brass hammers and whatnot, beryllium. Okay, then we got this is a Crescent, and I believe this is beryllium. It's got that hue to it. It's the 12-incher. I'm not sure if you can really pick it up on the camera. I'll try to turn around. It's not showing it much on the camera, but you can almost see that that copper color there. So that's why I got this. I like adjustable wrenches, but I wouldn't have necessarily grabbed that otherwise. Okay, then we have a soft blow hammer. Now, this doesn't have any maker marks on it, but it doesn't look cheap. It feels very heavy. Right where my thumb is brass on both sides. So I'm a little intrigued on this one. You know, if it turns out to be a Harbor Freight special and I'm losing my mind, then let me know. But no marks, but heavy quality. It's got to be a couple pounds anyway. Okay. Let me grab the Stanley USA soft blow. It's small. I have a bag of ends. This is chipped. I have a bag of ends that I can utilize with this, but handle's in great shape. And these are nice for just like real fine, soft taps. You know. And while we're on the subject of soft blows, this is a come on now, focus. Anyways, I thought it was on that end. This is oh, there it is. This is a Craftsman USA, and you can barely make it out. It's a 16-ouncer, and it looks in great shape. It's got very little use on it. And any of the Craftsman USA pieces, I collect them. I pick them up. You know, this is definitely a nice hammer. Excuse me, grab what fell over here. Okay. All right, and we're moving right along here. Things are rolling on my makeshift table. My benches are loaded up as usual. I think these are left cutters. Yeah, these are left cutters. These are Protos. I think they were $1 or $2. This here is, I don't know what it's used for. It says the best. It's got the nice handle, and then the bottom is like, you know, I don't know what this is for, but I threw it in the bundle. I like it. It looks cool, if nothing else. So that'll probably be on display, just sitting there. Okay. Yeah, that thing wants to fall. All right, we got a little pry bar here, wooden handled. Looks like that piece is riveted on at the end there. It's USA made. I can't really make out the markings yet. I've only looked at it briefly. This I pretty much just got as a medieval weapon. I don't know if this is like a potato, you know, like a potato spear. But in any event, what does it say? Gilchrist, number 50. Pretty sharp, little nails sticking out of it, but it's pretty cool. I'll grab this thing. And we got a little ice pick there. Piece that keeps falling. Older. Nice wooden handle. Big fan of the wooden handled pieces. Okay, moving right along. I'm not sure of this yet. It's marked Williams. Now, whether or not it's the Williams that you and I know, otherwise I'm not sure, but which way does it read? I think it reads like this. In any event, it's marked Williams, and it has some stampings on the end, so I'll clean that up, and I can't imagine that's a wrench, but that's something. But grab that. Grab this little guy here. Okay. And I got a couple of these little, what are these, spoke shaves or whatever, drawbacks. One of them is German made. And let me just look off camera here. Bear with me. Where is it? Okay, yeah. It's right on this tab here. It says made in Germany. I'm not sure yet of the maker, but it's got 60 stamped into it there as well. So a pretty cool piece. And I got another one here. Let me look off camera here. This one is USA made, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to be able to make it out, but it's basically another one. It's USA made. These will be taken apart, fully cleaned. Pretty cool. I don't have many of these, I'll tell you that, so I grab them when I can find them. Okay. This is a Starrett piece. And got a model number there. .449 is the model number. It's in good shape. And we got a little ruler here. Jordan, Germany. And what we got here? USA Craftsman 40442. Pretty cool piece. I got some other stuff I got to show you guys. Surprised I didn't yet, but I got a big Brown and Sharp depth gauge. It's 22 inches tall. It's a depth gauge. It's basically a huge caliper. All right, and the last piece here in this subject here is another Starrett. This one is 604R, 6-inch. And it has its, I didn't notice it, it's a Starrett case as well, but it's got that. Okay, a few more pieces here. Got this hammerhead, and it's stamped Germany. So I have some handles. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing all fixed up. Okay, I grabbed these because they're unique. There are markings that I cannot decipher yet. My next video, I'll give you guys a little bit more details on some of this stuff, if you're curious. But I just kind of got this stuff home not that long ago, so it's new to me as well. But there's more stuff coming here. This here is a Stanley USA, and it's the 125. Great condition. And I have several brass torch heads. This is, you hit the button. And I have this one actually already, and I use it. But I got a spare. It was $2. These aren't cheap. So, then also we got the Stanley 285 USA made. It's got the wooden pieces there. Pretty cool. Then, right here is it's a hand crank grinder. Very smooth, very easy to move. Lakeside grinder is the marking on the side, and I believe it's all there, with the exception of looks like there must have been a rest that went here, but I'm going to fabricate one for sure. I like this. I'm going to clean it up and keep it for sure, 100%. All right, and then probably my favorite piece of the whole haul is this little Wilton baby bullet. Check this out. It's a little vise, 2-inch jaws, removable. It's got dual locks on the swivel. It's actually a bullet vise. It has the cap. All right. It's got the front plate. It's all there. And I am gonna go all out with this thing and repaint it. And in the original color, which is like I'd call it like a gray with a little tiny bit of blue in it. But love this thing. I don't see these bullet vices often. In fact, I might have only seen a couple of them in my entire history of hunting tools, and the ones that I do see, they're through the roof on the price. So I'm very happy to have this, and it's small, but it's super, super cool. I've never seen this in my life. All right, so there's a couple more pieces here. I got some C-clamps, and I've been collecting these for a little while. I don't have a lot of bigger ones, but I especially like the butterfly wing nut there. This one is a Sargent and Company 16. This thing is this one here is like a boat anchor. Look, I mean, just look at the frame on that. It's solid. It's ridiculous. Anyways, it's marked Chicago, and there's something above the Chicago I can't quite make out yet. And then there's the 5 there, which I don't understand the reference because it's wider than 5 inches for sure. So, and this one is Colt Batavia. I have a smaller one like this, but I like the style. It's got it's got some character to it for sure, and I think it's a 6-incher. But yeah, the 3 he had other clamps, but for some reason his clamp prices, he was like $5 a clamp, which may not be a lot of money, but I don't know. When you're paying a couple bucks a piece for items that are better than that, and I wasn't gonna be doing the $5 a piece thing. So anyways, also I got this huge pry bar. It's massive. The bottom there is probably 1.5 inches, pushing 2 inches on the width, and it's up to my forehead, and I'm 6'2". So this is a really good sized pry bar. You can do a lot with that. All right, I got this little plastic organizer tray, and I usually hate these things. I've never had one that didn't tip over, or they're a pain in the ass. They really are, and I don't know why I keep falling for these, but it was cheap, so I grabbed it. It's good sized. Hopefully I can utilize it. If not, I'm going to give it a punt. I'm literally going to run up and punt this thing, like a field goal attempt. Okay, last, I got this little dolly, this hand cart. All right, and this is older. It's an older model, and it's heavy duty. It's super solid. It's smooth, and from my experience, these are worth their weight in gold. I have an aluminum one over here that I picked up a while ago, and I use this all the time. So if you have the means to get a cheap hand cart, get it, and the older the better. If you go into Walmart and you buy one of these, it's going to be cheap, thin gauge steel. So that's pretty much it. I got to get going. I got some stuff I want to start, but I wanted to share with you guys what I picked up. I appreciate you. Oh, I almost didn't. I grazed right past the sockets here. Sorry about that. All right, anyways, as I mentioned, this is a Powercraft box. Must have been a socket set at one point. There is some 3/4 drive sockets. This here is a plum and 1 7/16. Another 3/4. This is an SK. And I got some 3/4 inch drive sockets, odds and ends. I don't have any sets, but if I get them cheap, I'll pick them up. And these are just various pieces. There's another SK in the chrome, 1 5/16. And there's a 1/2 inch to 3/4 adapter, which is what they must have been using. The Bonnie piece. It's an old, I like this one. It's an old Craftsman, 1/2 inch deep. And that's a nice socket right there. This is the Powercraft 1/2 inch drive swivel that came with the set. And then there's most, if not all, I haven't really checked much, but these are what the Powercraft sockets look like. You know, and there's a number of them in there. And there's also some oddball ones, like, you know, there's a Billings one there. Another older Craftsman piece there. Walden, Worcestershire. So yeah, the sockets as well. So all on the cheap, all pretty cool stuff. Hope you enjoy. Stay tuned. I apologize about the lack of videos, but life has been insane. Been super busy, but I'm getting into the groove of buying these tool lots here. And I'll have, as I've proved in the past, I'll have mass quantity here coming up. Appreciate you guys. Oh, on another note, there's a vise that I've located. It's a 200-pound Starrett vise that is in unused condition, and it's old, but the seller wants $1,500 for it. And I'll tell you, I'm so tempted to buy this vise, but I can't do it. I actually offered him $1,000 cash yesterday, and he denied it. It's a 200-pound Starrett vise. I want it real bad, but you know, you spend $1,500 on a vise, it's a vise. But anyways, take it easy, guys. Appreciate it, and we'll talk soon.